Morning guys, Martin back again, another CarCast, and this one is 13, so it's a quarter of a year of CarCasts. Not that that deserves a special fanfare or anything. Anyway, another really hot day. Oh, my voice went funny then. Another really hot day, and I've got a weekend off coming up. Can you believe it? First weekend off, and I'm going away without the missus. She's not impressed. But now it's a stag do I'm going. I'm best man in a few weeks for one of my best mates. So we've got the stag do, and we're going down to the Norfolk Broads for the weekend. Got some boats. There was one boat for us, and then the company decided it was a good idea. It'd be more comfortable if we had two boats. Now, none of us are 21 anymore, but we will act that way when we're drunk. I don't doubt for 1 minute. And yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, I'm going to go and crash a boat this weekend. If there's no more CarCasts, because I sank. Anyway, let's move on from that. There's lots going on, as always, as I keep saying. Let's deal with the website first. So, it's 2 weeks away. You think I'm messing as well. The import's been done, and there was something like 4,000 items wrong. It's all foreign to me. But whatever's happened, it's something has happened, and that's the main thing. So he's still working on other bits now. He's got enough data that he can actually manage the rest of it, and then Dave, in his little tiny list of jobs, has got to sort all that out, all the incorrect bits. Hopefully it's a simple enough job, I don't know. But it's happening, and that's the main thing. Come on. So yeah, 2 weeks. Could be next week. Maybe by the time I speak to you next week, then the website will be live. Probably not. But anyway, but we've got things going on. So let's touch on. I'm going to end up talking about Magic a little bit on this video, because a couple of the guys in the shop, and Finn, one of my younger customers, he mentioned to me. Finn, if you're watching, hi. He mentioned to me that he watches the CarCasts, but I never really talk about Magic. And it made me think, because I thought I talked about it too much. I originally set the channel up before the store. My channel was obviously all about Warhammer 40,000. And I was very, very involved in the community. And then when I set the store up, I thought, I was talking too much about Magic, and I didn't want to become a Magic shop that sold war games. I wanted to be a war games shop with a store that sells everything. And not that I wanted to focus more on 40k than on Magic, or Magic more than, I don't know, bolt action or anything. But I thought I was talking too much about Magic, but apparently I don't talk enough about it. So, a bit of a question out to you guys for the comments for this week is, do you want to know more about other products that I sell in store? Do you want me to just generalise things, or what? This week though, I am going to talk a bit about Magic. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record another video straight after this one, which is very, very much a hot topic this week, and it's about Magic. But we'll get to Magic in a minute. So the Northwest Open, which is a 40k event, that is very, very much in the flow now. Lawrence over at Tabletop Tactics, he put a video out, it's Thursday today, so he put a video out yesterday, and that's already had lots of positive results. Frankie and Reese over at Frontline Gaming on their podcast, they'd done an interview with Ace, so tickets are really ramping up for that now. I think we've now done 30 odd tickets, which doesn't leave masses left. So again, at the risk of sounding repetitive every week, if you haven't already got your ticket and you're interested, get your ticket, because you won't be able to come and pay on the day. That's fact. You won't just be able to turn up and go, oh yeah, I'm playing. We will have only accommodated for people who are pre-purchase tickets, so you need to get into that. 60 quid full weekend, that includes lunch both days, licensed bar, fantastic terrain. On the note of the terrain, big thank you to the guys at Mammoths. So they've fully moved into the store now for their Tuesday night club. And I'll touch back onto War Machine in 1 second with it, although I don't think any War Machine got played last week. I think it was all Gaslands, a game that comes out next year that they're beta testing, or something along them lines. That if I had knowledge, it'd be dangerous. But yeah, they emptied the club shed at the church where they used to be of the terrain and brought it all to War Games. Wow, there's loads. There's loads. But it's great because what it means is the terrain weekend's still going to happen final weekend of June, and now rather than just building terrain, which there is still lots of boxes of terrain that just needs clipping and gluing and what have you, there's still a load of painting needs doing. But all this terrain that got given to us, it's brilliant. I mean, some of it needs a bit of a repair, but that's what the terrain weekend's for. So come along if you just need to clean some bits up and maybe just retouch some bits of paint in, maybe rebase some so that it's themed out, and we want to try and section things. There needs to be some sort of organisation, but what I'll probably do is just put a full long bench of tables out so that it's more communal, if you like. People can chat and whatever, and just sit there and just build and paint terrain for the weekend. But thank you very much to the Mammoths. They brought tons, which is good. So we're all set for that. That looks like it's going to be a big success. Well, onto Magic, Magic the Gathering. It's a funny old game, and it's got some funny old players in it. And I think if you ask anybody who is a player but not overly competitive, they'd probably say that they wish they could get rid of a third of the Magic community. Okay, I'm going out on camera for it, and after what happened at the weekend, that's a brave move on my behalf. I'm not saying I want to get rid of Magic players. I just want to get rid of a mentality out of some Magic players, and I won't do it. It just won't happen, which is fine. There was a big hoo-ha last week, which I say I'm going to record another video, go into more detail. But there was a big hoo-ha last week after an event that I ran. Some very salty people, I've started using that expression, salty, some very salty people didn't like certain elements of things, and they complained about it over the keyboard rather than to my face, because that's as big as some people are. They can't say anything to your face, they'll just be all nice as pie, and then as soon as they're sat on a train, and God knows my biggest video on YouTube's about keyboard warriors. Can't abide them, can't stand them, there's no place for them in my store. You know who you are, I don't think you're watching, but if anybody knows who I'm talking about, tell them not to bother coming back to my store. Not that I think they would anyway. But I'll go into that more. But as a result, it flared up a massive big argument on Facebook on Sunday night, which I shouldn't have got drawn into. I should have been more professional. And to anyone that did witness it, take this as my apology. I was somewhat unprofessional. I got goaded into an argument, and there's only so many times you can prod me with a stick before I'm going to bloody bite. And it does seem that it was very constructed in its way that ended up happening. And a bit, and it went off like a bottle of pop. It got lots of attention to the group. That was a good side of it. But anyway, it's done now. Apologies are being made, and what it's forced me to do is look at the way things are done in war games. It's forced me to look at the communities that are around me in the different games, and it's caused me to draw comparisons as well. So there's two different types of gamers. There's card gamers, competitive card gamers, sorry, and then there are war gamers. You obviously have you've got board gamers and you've got role players as well, but they generally cross in between everything. But the card gamers and the war gamers are a very different breed of people to each other. There's very little crossover between them, and I think I've realised why. So war gamers want to play games, card gamers don't. Card gamers want to win events and want to win prizes and want to win money. They say they like the game. I'm talking about competitive players, by the way, not casual players. Casual players just want to play games, and ultimately, at the end of all this, that's what war games is. It's a place for people to come and play games. There is a competitive element to events that we run, but fun's the most important part. Again, all in the other video that I'll record in a minute. But yeah, the two different breeds of people, and you can't change people. And I don't expect to be able to change people. I do want to change people, but I'm not God yet. No, I'm not a God. So I can't change the way people are, and I have to just kind of accept it. All the fuss came about over intentional drawing, IDing, as it's known for short. And if you want to know more about it, check out the other video that will be called Intentional Drawing, How Do We Fix It? I've just decided that's what it's going to be called. But yeah, we change things, and we're still running events, we're still doing everything, but I've accepted that the community is different and there's a place for both. Some people there is not a place for in my store, and it is ultimately, might I remind everybody, I keep saying, oh, it's our store and it's a community thing. It is, but ultimately it falls to me, and it's my decisions, and for the good of the store and for the good of the community, I don't want douchebags in my store. I'm never going to be able to eradicate them completely, but if you just play to win at all costs, then please go and play elsewhere. You're not welcome. Simple as that. Now hopefully the message that sends out to everybody else is that war games is a place where you come and you play your games, you play to win, but you most importantly play to have fun, and the winning is not the be all and end all to it. If it's a weekend event, come and play games for a weekend. Make sure that you have fun over the weekend. If you win, great. If you don't, as long as you have fun doing it. And yeah, am I back now? Is there such a thing? Has it ever happened before? 12 minutes in. Troll Trader event, that's still going ahead. It's this weekend. We considered moving it and then figured we can't. It clashes with a few other things. So it clashes with Father's Day on Sunday. Not this weekend, sorry, next weekend. So Father's Day. It also clashes with the World Magic Cup qualifiers, or the World Cup Magic qualifiers, whichever way around, the WMCQs, WCMQ, whatever. It's the World Cup qualifiers, and they're only over in Sheffield, so there is a clash, and it's fine. It will be what it will be. We're still hosting it. We're still the only store in the Northwest big enough to host it. So, you know what, kudos to us. We've got the venue for it. The technology's in place, the tables are in place, the chairs aren't in place. I've still got to source these chairs. In less than 8 days I've got to get them. If all else fails, I'll hire them. It's dead money, isn't it? Anyway, that's happening 18th and 19th of June, so it's modern format on the Saturday, plus there's a legacy event on the Saturday. Sealed on the Sunday. There's £3 worth of prizes up for both of the big events. There will be numerous side events as and when people want them. So if you want to play Commander, if you want to play Standard, if you want to play Two-Headed Giant, you want to play anything, as soon as enough people jump onto it, we'll fire it off. But what we need is people. Kind of what you need to make an event work. So if you're a Magic player, casual or competitive, come down and play some games. If you're going to play in either of the big events, the modern or the sealed events, then go to Troll Trader and register for your ticket, because we will cap places, and it might be that you turn up on the day wanting to play in the event and it's not available. So pre-register. It also gives us more of an idea of what sort of numbers are going to turn up, which it's nice knowledge to have. But where it comes back now to 40k players, and well, to Games Workshop players, is Louis, the guy who owns Troll Trader. That business primarily started off with the sales of Magic cards and the sales of Warhammer. I think most of you have probably seen on Facebook, not on Facebook, on eBay, Troll Trader sells used Warhammer. Good prices, and just loads of used kits, new and old sort of stuff. He's buying en masse. So if you've got any old Warhammer, painted, unpainted, on sprue, in bits, glued together, bodged and in an absolute mess, doesn't matter, he's just buying. You're bringing cash up with him, but you're paying cash for your stock. You can then spend that in the store or take it home with you. You really must. But yeah, he's basically buying in for the weekend. So if you've got any old Warhammer, bring it in, get it sold, and get a new army. Or if you don't want to spend it on the hobby anymore because you're out of the hobby, I don't know why you'd be watching this, but anyway, it's there. Let's get it done and sold, and everybody's happy then. Same with Magic cards. That's cool. And then finally, not finally, second to final, is I said that we would touch back onto War Machine, which I'm about to do. But before I do that, Eternal Masters, which is another Magic event. So Eternal Masters is a reprint of legacy cards. Anybody that plays Magic the Gathering will probably know what Eternal Masters is. For those that are not fully sure, it's an expensive set. So a normal booster box we would retail at 90 quid. An Eternal Masters booster box we retail at 200 quid. And there's only 24 packets rather than the normal 36. That's because boosters are £10 a booster. But there are expensive cards in there. This isn't just for people who are playing standard or people who are just playing casual Magic. This isn't the right set for them. You're meant to buy this, you're ideally meant to draft the box between 8 of you, hence why there's 24 packs. And we're doing drafts all weekend. Well, we're doing drafts until we run out of boxes. I got 24 boxes. I think we've sold 10 or 11 of them. So there's 12, 13 boxes left. I'm having a couple for the store. We've got single sales, which will be available from midnight tonight. If there's any cards anybody wants, get a message straight over to us. You can reserve the card. For ease of pricing, use Troll Trader, and that'll show you what prices, what cards are in the set. And we should have, there's 249 cards in the set. I'd be surprised if we didn't get over 200 of them, with a couple of the big ones. I'd like to see some of the bigger cards in there, and if you want them, reserve them, and then pay for them once they go live. So that's cool. But yeah, we've got drafts all weekend. That's what this part of it's about. It's 25 quid in for a draft, which is less than you would pay to buy 3 boosters, so you may as well draft it. But you're drafting it with a bunch of other people, so you're having a good bit of crack. Have a little tournament with yourselves, and we'll just fire them off. We've put a post out on Facebook to try and encourage people to fill the slots, but it's more a case of, as 8 people turn up, bump, draft fires off. Another 8 people turn up, bump, draft fires off. We've not got a massive drafting community in Southport. That's something Dave and I aim to change, and we'll grow it. We're going to start developing. We've got a huge Magic community. We just need to start developing that community now. I'm not interested in focusing on the out-of-town travelling players, because the travelling players don't spend any money, and they're only interested in prize and prize support. And then even when you give them prize and prize support, they're still not happy, so I'm not interested in them. It's as simple as that. That does Magic. So War Machine, I said last week about dates for tournaments, and I got them wrong, and I'm probably going to get them wrong again, because I said, well, whatever I said. So there's a tournament on the 6th of August, 2nd of August, the first Saturday of August, I believe it is. I'm going to put the dates in the comments below because I've got it wrong again. I intended to answer the questions in this week's one as well, But like an absolute idiot, I'd printed them all out and then I've left them in the store, and obviously I'm recording it in the car, and it's not a CarCast if it's not in the car, and I can't do it tomorrow. So questions next week, sorry guys. Gives you another week to ask some though. There wasn't masses of questions, which is good. I don't have to answer too many. But yeah, it's the first weekend of August and then the first weekend of September. They're when the War Machine tournaments are going to be. There's going to be big prize support in them, and by big I mean, so the one in September is going to be a £20 ticket, which anyone who plays War Machines probably just sort of like gone white at the thought of paying £20 for a ticket. Phil Winstanley, who's the press gang, is going to explain it to people in the War Machine community much better. He's going to sell it in effect. What you're going to get for £20, you're not used to. You're not used to getting the level of organisation that we're going to give, the surroundings that we're going to give, and the prize support that we're going to give. We're talking 75 quid first place, we're talking 50 quid second place, and 25 quid third place. Then best painted and always best sportsman or best favourite player, whatever wording gets used for it. And then a wooden spoon for the loser, because you should always recognise the person that came last. They hold everybody else up. But it's a big tournament. The one in August is going to be £10 a ticket, because it's a smaller one. It's more of a, as opposed to being a tournament event, it is literally just a bit of a Mark III's out event. There'll be prize support and there'll be stuff for it, but it's only £10 a ticket, so prizes won't be as big, but the turnout won't be as big. It's more of a local one to give something to the guys, to give something to the mammoths and then the local tournament scene. But the big one in September, we can sit War Machine players, we could easily sit 60, maybe 80, depends how we lay it out. To be fair, if we can do 40, yeah, we could probably do 90, probably sit 90 War Machine players with space. 60 is a much more comfortable number, and I don't think we'd get 90. It's not a privateer press event, but it's a national event, so let's get the word spread out and get people starting booking in for that. Ticket sales will go up in the next week or so, and let's crack on with it. But it's a bit disjointed, this CarCast. Not that any of the others are particularly planned or programmed. There's probably things I've forgotten to say, but my head's half in work mode because I've got a lot to do today before I leave for the weekend, and then the other half of it, to be honest, is just looking forward to a break. I'm tired. I might just fall asleep after one beer this weekend, but I'm tired. I've had a bad week with work and communities, as I say, with the Magic community, and do you know what? I'm just looking forward to it. I just need to get away. So Dave's running the shop for the weekend anyway, so if you're local, go in, give him some abuse. I'm sure he can deal with it. And I'll see you next week, guys, hopefully. I say unless I sink. So this is goodbye, hopefully for now, not forever. But if not, then goodbye. I'll see you later, guys. Thanks very much.